All right. Welcome, everybody who is not me. Ridiculous. Square looking really good right there. I have to jump up on my square trade. Hey, what's up, Mel? Rob. A couple of funny stories. If Eli would get here, we'd be all set to go. Um, so sorry about last week, guys. I wasn't here last week because my wife was sick and I had to deal with the kids in the morning. And once again, I don't have a great way to reach out to you guys unless you guys are on Slack. But I don't think Rob, you're on Slack. So I think I did mention it in Slack. Um, and then this morning, I'm sitting here streaming to my damn self because I was in the. I have two YouTube profiles. One for real crypto, one for real stocks. I have to switch between the two, and it's not super easy. They don't make it super easy, and so I'm sitting here streaming the Real Crypto Power Hour by myself. I'm like, why is there nobody here? I go back and it says, oh, Power Hour, January 27th. I go, oh, that's my Real Crypto Power Hour. So I'm streaming to myself. So fun. Anyway, that's when I go back and realize that, oh, yeah, I'm actually not signed into Real Stocks. I'm signed into Real Crypto. So I apologize about that. Big old snafu. What I was saying is this is essentially, quote unquote, from what I understand through IBD, due to the pandemic. Um, I looked into it a little bit earlier by myself, and the pandemic from SARS in early 2000s, uh, unfortunately, only killed about 774 people worldwide, which is really good. When you're talking about a pandemic and a worldwide virus spreading, usually you're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And we're lucky we really haven't had one of those in the modern world. So super lucky at this stage of the game. They never know which is going to be the one to do that. You've seen the movies Outbreak and stuff like that. But usually these don't go very far. Like I said, thankfully, they don't go very far. And maybe this is a nice buying opportunity. The first time we've seen this middle Bollinger Band touch since 2 months ago over here. And that was a buying opportunity as we basically, I don't remember how we handled the day here, but if we close off the lows here, we could just go back right up into rally mode. So this could be an interesting opportunity to pick up a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I did add to a square position that I started, and I'm thinking about jumping on some DPZ, some dominoes for our long-term turnaround play over here. Thinking about it. Haven't pulled any triggers yet, but the volumes so far this morning is pretty good. We do have these large spikes, but these are at the very end of the day. These are not in the beginning of the day. If you go back and look at some of the beginnings, we don't usually have. This is decent volume for beginning of the day, so this could be one of those situations. Um, Actually, looks like that was an undercut and rally from yesterday, right there. Yeah, I agree, Mel. It's really amazing. Um, oh, Denny's launched for Beyond. Oh, I didn't look at the news this morning. Yeah, they're at 4%. Their flag here is looking great. By the way, this is a good looking flag. If this starts to break out of this flag, I'd say it's buyable. There's a nice. We talked about right about here on this day. We said wait for a base, so you're only up about $10, and you avoided a bunch of choppy garbage. So that's pretty good. So that's pretty good right there for Beyond Meat. So yeah, that could be good. Yeah, in terms of those people in the CDC, but in reality, it's a worldwide cooperation that is pretty fantastic. I mean, it's really good. It's really, really good, and they've done a good job. I mean, the CDC, I believe, is the leader of that. Don't get me wrong, Mel's right. It's mainly the CDC, but you know, in a situation where everything is global, I mean, they've already had like a case in the U.S. already, for crying out loud. It's pretty cool. Oh, Rob's going conspiracy theory on me. I kind of like it. I like conspiracy theory, Rob. That's kind of funny. But yeah, it's you look at the SARS outbreak, and I'm not a medical professional by any stretch of the imagination, nor am I a geopolitical actor. But it just the World Health Organization is kind of the CDC kin globally, and yeah, those two organizations just do fantastic, fantastic work just to stop all of us from dying, which is why we're able to have 7 billion people, soon to be 15 billion of starving people. So that's really the really the reason why we're able to have so many billions of starving people is because of things like the CDC. But to be honest with you, if we did have a global pandemic, I would be one of the first to die. So I'm thankful. I am thankful, even though I kind of mock how we don't have natural selection anymore. Um, it is what it is. So it's good and bad. As long as we can feed all the people, I think we'll be all right. All right, Visa down 1.2%. So kind of a rare down day in the market. You can see already getting bought up a little bit, 1.82. We already tested the lows once. Let's go look at that on the daily or the 5-minute chart. Well, I thought we tested lows again. I guess we were probably a little lower than I thought we were to start out with. I wasn't here right at the open, so. INMD. They're building a portable hospital in 6 days. That's pretty awesome. Well, dude, I'd believe it. Look at Elon Musk's freaking Gigafactory. Built that thing in 10 months. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of square feet a Gigafactory is. How big is the China Gigafactory? Well, it's 210 acres of land. Hmm. That's a lot. I don't know. 650,000 square feet in 10 months? 9 million? Oh, that's for the entire property, I think, Rob. I'm not sure that's for the building itself. Anyway, I don't know. It's a lot. But yeah, it's pretty cool what people can do these days. We're a pretty bunch of innovative little monkeys. It's amazing. So yeah, I am liking Beyond Meat. I'm not sure about right now. I'm kind of on the fence right now. You've got a little bit of a trend line that we're poking with at the moment. Um, Really good volume though on Beyond Meat. Oh, they are launching it. Oh. Yes, I'm racist against all humans. That's for sure. I'm not racist. I hate everybody. Denny's adds Beyond Meat to permanent menu. Okay, there you go. Let's look at FinViz. $7 billion market cap with only 230 million in sales. That is pretty bombastic in terms of some fundamental numbers. That's a 300 forward PE. That is insane. Yeah, so this thing already has a pretty rich valuation, but doesn't mean it can't have a couple more pops. So you're pretty much just going to have to play for those, I think. Huh. They have 257 employees and they're worth $7 billion. dollars. And they're not a software company. That's seems a little bit outlandish. So yeah, valuations are super rich here. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a crazy valuation on Beyond Meat, but sometimes valuations don't mean anything when you're in the middle of a run. At some point, they will catch up, though. If this thing, I mean, look at this at 125. This gets back up here to 250. That's going to be 14 billion market cap for $230 million in sales. Hey, good morning, Eli. Invest in masks. All right, what's masks got going on here? Mask cannot find this symbol. Okay. I'm not sure what symbol masks is. Yeah, how about Purell? Guess what? That's P&G, ladies and gentlemen. That's P&G. You want to invest in a lot of that garbage disinfectant that doesn't work? Here you go. P&G. All right, so market 187. We're not bouncing too far off of the lows. D.R. Horton doing pretty good today. Raises full year revenue guidance as tax benefit boost first quarter results. Okay, so that seems sustainable. A mania phase in the S&P. A lot of these stocks feel super overpriced. Two things to say about that. Number one, just listen to the market. Don't listen to your feelings. Number two, if it is a mania phase, be thankful, because if you're listening to the market and we're in a mania phase, you're going to make a lot of money. And in terms of them feeling super overpriced, listen to the market. That's all I got to say. So all I got to say, just listen to the market. Yeah, there's a lot of talk out there about a lot of things. And that's good. That means that it's likely we're going to go higher, because the second everyone says, oh, we're overbought, we're too much, we got valuations too high, that's when the market does not stop. The market generally usually stops when everyone says, oh, yeah, we're up 40%, but blah, 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 so we're likely to see blah, 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 blah. So like everyone says that. When everyone says, hey, we've been rallying for, this long and it's going to continue rallying, that's when you start to think of toppy action, because everyone's still jumping in with both feet, which is when the institutions start to look to get out. I'm not quite sure how they gauge that. It'd be pretty interesting to actually know that, but you're looking at usually it's public sentiment. I'm not sure if it's like the bullish bearish gauge type of a thing, or if it's something else. But I mean, Rob's saying he almost got out. I actually took some profits on Friday just because the market is the first rollover day we'd had all year, and I was up significantly in a number of positions. So I'm like, I'm taking profits. I can always re-enter, and so I stayed in a couple of them. Tesla, Square, and Skyworks are what I have right now. All of my shorter term options I exited. What was that? So, I mean, I did take some profits, but I'm right back looking for entries. I'm not necessarily just resting on my laurels at this stage of the game. Now, I'll let the market play itself out. We're back down over 2%. So, yeah, me too. I got out of a bunch. I still have my TQQQ position and my Tesla position, which is a majority of my portfolio, those two positions. So I still have those. Haven't fully sold out of the TQs yet, which, I don't know, today hurts a little bit, but not the end of the world quite yet. The Skyworks, I don't really do upside targets, Rob, to be honest with you. I look at 20 to 25% for the breakout point, fairly standard IBD stuff is what I look at. So if that would be a target. I try to stick to the low bar of IBD, and then I use options to really try to ratchet up the gains to several 100% if I can. So 140 appears to be what I've got there. Yeah, Skyworks has been great. Um, yeah, it is a target, I guess. So, yeah, Friday was a pretty big sell day for Skyworks too. There was a lot of volume in the morning. Um, yeah, bearish on Disney. I actually think I took Disney off of my actionable list. As a matter of fact, yeah, I remember I did a little bit of house cleaning. When I started deleting coins I didn't want to, I stopped because that always sucks. Really hate when that happens. Disney under the 200-day moving average right here, not super good. You can see it's actually only been under the 200 number of times, and I don't. Let's go take a look. I'm not sure if we broke the 50 on major volume. Not really. This may be a buying opportunity for Disney. If the whole world doesn't catch the coronavirus in the next coming days, this could be a buying opportunity. You got a very loose gap fill down here. We're about halfway through the gap, trying to come up to this prior high, it looks like. So, I mean, this could be a decent buying opportunity for Disney to get back up towards highs, 150 give or take. Let's throw that into the option machine and see what pops out. And it's got to spin up. Um, I don't know about bearish on Disney in terms of shorting it. I don't know. See, usually it'll break on heavy volume. We don't have that here. We have a massive move up. This is a full day. Earnings was here. And then we have the massive move up here. And loosely have a topping candle here. That's a pretty decent size volume bar. Third biggest one that we're looking at. But other than that, like I said, the 50-day line break wasn't on big volume. We have this day, which actually closed above the 50-day. And so we don't have a big rush to get out of the stock. I think this uptrend is still intact. Maybe if the market goes into a bear market or a correction, that's a different situation. Um, so, yeah, I mean, this is a general cascade lower, but the market has an upside bias. We're still bullish until proven otherwise, and we're just not proven bearish yet. So I would like to remain bullish if I can. And like I said, this being under the 200-day for the first time in 1, 2, 3, 4 times in the past 2 years, a little over a year actually. That could be a buying opportunity. Not sure if I want to jump in front of shorting that. If you do, you're going to have to give yourself a fairly tight stop loss. But not sure if this would break out into new highs again. Like I said, I'd probably just play it up to the 150. Just for kind of a balanced play, maybe even into the 200 or the 50-day, which right now would be about the one, when it gets up to maybe 140 something. But that's only about 5%. I usually like to buy companies whose products and services I buy and short and vice versa. It was one of those you felt you wouldn't buy, but seeing how far it is, I can agree it could be a buy. I'm actually thinking about buying Disney Plus, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are. I actually was at a client's house the other day, and he bought Disney Plus. It's not a big purchase. It's $7 a month. It's pretty much these streaming services, in all honesty, are pretty much the cheapest form of entertainment you can buy. And they're doing it directly to consumers now. And Disney, having probably the broadest portfolio of almost any entertainment company, I can't imagine. So you got $7 a month times, I don't know how many families, 75 million families in the United States. That's 6.3 billion a year. I'm sure that's not probably a massive percentage of the revenue. Let's take a look. Sales are almost $70 billion. And you can imagine this is going to cannibalize some of that. So, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a big drive of earnings going forward, to be honest with you, looking at those numbers. But Yeah, right, Rob. I did the same thing for some of my kids at Netflix not too long ago. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be the driver that some. It's such a big company. If this were a smaller, if this if this were like if Disney spun off Disney Plus, it would be a massive buy. The Disney Plus by itself, I think, would be just a huge buy. Um, you're going to see, I think, pretty good growth out of that. But adding it into Disney, I don't think is going to be a big game changer because you're going to be cannibalizing some of the other revenue streams that it has coming in. Like there are probably some people that just, were waiting for Star Wars to come out, which Netflix finally has, oddly enough. But anyway, from a technical standpoint, I really think being under the 200-day isn't bad for this right now. All right, Facebook, another long-term turnaround play, waiting for this one to turn around. Right there, breaking out late last year. Shoot, 8:15 already. Darn it. Don't have enough time with you guys today. Anyway, so pull back today, 2%. The market, rallies back at the end of the day. I may be making some purchases. I don't know what yet, but I may be making some purchases. Again, looking at those Domino's pizzas, some of those really long-term turnaround plays, trying to stick to my majors. Square being one of them right now. So Square's a major. It hasn't broken out yet, but it's on the cusp of doing so. We had a nice day on Friday, believe it or not. Popped up a little bit, came back in, and then today with a pretty quick bounce back. Hopefully that will be that'll be the future here above the 50-day moving average, which is here, and the 200-day moving. So we're above all the moving averages again right now, which is good for Square. If we can keep that up. And I don't know if we can, but the question is if we. I mean, Visa just went on a massive tear, as we're well aware of. You got PayPal. All these are in the same group. PayPal with a huge cup right here. This is going to be a big mover when it decides to move again as well. Could form a handle here. We'll see how this week goes. I'm going to get out of here on Rob's comments. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to shout them up there. Not sure I've seen TQQQ -6 in the time I've been watching it. Gold, silver have not been moving much. Yeah, I'm not really tripping too much on the TQQQ right now. Could be a buying opportunity. You're down 6%. This is a time to add, I think. The market being low on distribution days, that could be a mistake in the upcoming days, but I'm not tripping too much right now. We're not seeing. You're seeing 3% down, 4% down. We're not seeing. Really massive. And a lot of these are just pullbacks. And would have been massive rallies. So you don't want to give up on them quite yet. 50-day being held by NVIDIA. We got LK down here, this was dumping before the market here anyways. This already had a huge run. Las Vegas Sands, that took a huge crap. Let's talk about NVIDIA. I don't know about the Iran news with NVIDIA. I'm not sure what that's about. But coming down, almost testing the 50-day. Last time that was a screaming buy. Hopefully it's a screaming buy this time as well. So look at the ones down the most today. These don't look bad. These are just normal pullbacks. Alibaba coming in a bit more, but that's a direct China play, so that's likely why. JD also coming back, testing the 50-day moving average and bouncing. Keep in mind the stock market could give two shits about millions of people dying as long as they can make $1 off it. So you have to keep that in mind too. Don't be scared by the market here. So, I would argue our pullbacks are more normal today. Nothing really here to be scared of in the market. So, all right, guys. Well, I got to bounce. I will see you tomorrow, and hopefully I'll pick the right stream to stream from. All right, guys. Bye-bye.